everybody, and welcome to Bunniecast Movie Nights, Episode 2. And I am your host, Bunnie. Take it away, co-host.
Alright, it's me on your internet left. It's Morgan. We're on Episode 2, You Cannot Redo. How you doing, Bunnie?
I'm doing pretty well. How are you doing, Morgan?
Oh, you know, secretly sick, but, pushing through it. So, yeah, we're on the second episode. Woo! Who knew we would make it this far?
Who knew? And, just a heads up, to everyone, we are both sick, so if we sound a little funny, that is why. But
Absolutely.
What else are you guys gonna do but listen to us? Anyways.
It's not like you have a choice in the matter.
Exactly. So, yeah. I guess we'll get into this. Morgan has something to share before we start getting into the meat of things.
Yeah, gather around children, adults, and pets. I saw a movie in theaters recently, and I just wanted to touch on it before we get started on our main attraction tonight. I went to go see Blade Runner 2049 in theaters last week, and it was good.
Oh, man.
Yeah, do you know anything about it, Bunnie?
I actually don't. I've never seen the original Blade Runner. I know about it and all that, but yeah, I really don't know much.
Okay, well, it's sort of about the cybernetic future. Everything's kind of shit as far as the environment. And there's this slave race of artificially created humans called replicants who do, like, slave labor and stuff. And the first and second movie are about the people who hunt these replicants down when they go rogue, and the name of those police that hunt down the replicants are Blade Runners.
Oh, okay.
Aren't
there vampires in this movie?
No, I wish there were. That would be interesting. Are you mixing up the movie Blade with Blade Runner?
I think so.
Oh my gosh.
Whoops.
That's a good movie, but it's a little bit different from this one.
It should just be vampires anyways, because that just makes everything better.
Oh yeah, like, if there were vampires in this movie, that would be pretty interesting as far as, like, future transhumanism, like, we're turning into vampires slowly sort of thing.
Yeah.
But anyways, it was a really good movie. It was, like, 3 hours long, so I understand it's not for everyone, but if you're a fan of the original Blade Runner, this is not a disappointing sequel at all. It's amazing. You should go see it.
That's really good to know, because I heard it didn't. I heard it didn't get very great reviews, so that's really cool that you liked it. Yeah,
I've heard nothing but good things about it, but I don't know. Maybe we have different, like, sources we go to for that sort of thing. Okay. All right.
Cool.
So there's my little segment.
All right, now you guys know what movie to go see. Is it still in theaters?
Yes, it's still in theaters. It's only been in theaters like a few weeks. And as far as I would recommend this movie if you really like sort of science fiction, futury shit, and you can sit through a 3-hour movie.
And would you recommend seeing the first one, or the original, and then this one, or can you just jump right into seeing this one?
It's possible to jump right in, because they do some sense of sort of recapping the last movie throughout the film. So it's not like there are things happening in the movie that just will go straight over your head if you haven't seen the original, but I definitely recommend seeing the original because it's just really good.
And is it like a continuation of the original, or is it like a remake?
It's a continuation. In fact, the main actor, Harrison Ford, from the first movie, comes back for this one. But yeah, And also a couple other characters from the original movie come back. But yeah, it's not a remake, and thank gosh for that.
Okay, that's pretty cool. Okay. I really do need to see the original one. So I will see it at some point. I will.
Just pretend there's a vampire in it and you'll make it through.
I've never even seen Blade.
Oh,
so.
You should. It's so good. Oh, and is there a bloodbath scene where he actually bathes in blood? He bathes in blood no, I think there's a scene where it rains blood in the middle of a battle or something.
Oh,
it's
that
really
sounds
cool.
Awesome.
Though. And if you like Norman Reedus, that scruffy boy man,
well,
he's in the second movie.
All right. Well, you've got my attention.
I had your interest, now I have your attention, right?
Is Norman is he a vampire?
No, he's like
dang.
He's sort of this he has subjugated himself to the vampires by getting himself branded. He is a piece of their property.
Okay.
Yeah,
okay.
So.
Well, cool.
Okay.
All right. Well, I guess we'll go ahead and move forward with the main event of this afternoon. Okay, so as you guys can see in the title of today's podcast, we'll be covering The Cult of Chucky. This is a movie that came out this year. I believe it was direct to like DVD and Netflix and all that. Is that correct, Morgan?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it was. I can't remember the last time a Chucky movie actually made it to theaters.
Yeah, because Curse of Chucky also came like straight to Netflix, I believe.
Yeah, it was one of those direct-to-video things. If anything, there might have been like a limited showing of Cult of Chucky during like a simulcast period where they have like limited theater showings and they have it on video on demand at the same time, but I can't be sure about that. I do know it was direct-to-video though.
Okay, cool. So, and this is the 7th movie in the Child's Play franchise. Let's see. Yeah.
It seems like there would be more of those movies. I don't know where I'm like losing count somewhere, but I guess
you think there would be more than 7?
I thought there were maybe like 9 or 10 to be honest.
Oh my god.
Yeah. I kind of lose count when they go to like Seed of Chucky and Bride of Chucky and all of those. So when they stop numbering them.
Yeah, because I mean that sounds about right because wasn't there 3 Child's Play movies before they started changing the titles?
Yeah, there were 3, and then I guess I guess
so.
Yeah.
Bride, Curse of Chucky, Cult, and then there was something else.
Seed of Chucky.
That's right.
Where Chucky and his doll girlfriend actually have a doll baby.
I don't even know if I've seen that movie. that was one of the things I was researching, like just briefly going over the other movies, and I was like birthed another like doll, and I'm like, how in the world is that possible? What does that scene even look like?
I don't know. I haven't seen it, but I am interested in watching it.
Like, I need to just go look up that video, just that one scene after we get finished, because I'm curious as to how that works.
If it's not on YouTube, then I'll be disappointed in all those clip channels and stuff.
I will be disappointed as well. So you're really good at going. Okay, so do you want to like gradually discuss the plot as we go on, or do you want to tell everyone the plot and then we talk about our thoughts?
I think I'll do like a quick little synopsis of the movie, and we can talk about. We can share our thoughts on it, and feel free to stop me at a certain scene if, like, I'm not gonna go scene by scene like last time, but if you hear me bring something up, yeah, just feel free to jump in and interject and be like, oh, I really thought the doctor was hot, blah, 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 blah. We'll get to that.
I was just thinking about something. The fact that you I don't know if I had told you this last time, but since you did the whole, the first episode, how you were able to go scene by scene. Have you ever? And we were just before we started, you guys, we were discussing how amazing Morgan would be at ASMR. Morgan, have you ever thought about doing audiobooks?
I actually have, for real. There are a couple books that I've thought about doing audio recordings of and novellas and stuff. Yeah, I've had ideas like that. Yeah.
I could see you doing that. That'd be so nice. And you could do it in your nice little whispering voice. Oh my gosh, no. You should do if you did it in your really soft whisper ASMR voice, but you should do that with something really creepy or disturbing in some way.
Yeah, I'm sure I can find some of the remaining writing by Marquis de Sade and just read it in a very calm, soothing voice.
Who's that?
Marquis de Sade, he was this French nobleman, who was a very prolific writer of very distasteful, sadistic, sort of, topics, and in fact, I believe the term sadism derives from his name. I could be wrong.
Okay.
But he was a man of very sadistic tastes, and if you're familiar with the 120 Days of Sodom, that is a piece of work he penned, and a thing about him and his writing was most of it was destroyed by his family after his death, because it was just so, perverse and graphic, and they did not want it to live on.
That sounds perfect then. Or
go ahead.
I was just thinking I don't know, maybe we could do a segment in our show where you're just it's you're reading some short thing, like a really disturbing poem or something. Or have you seen that thing where I forgot who did it? I think it was an artist, and it was the alphabet of all these kids dying, different ways they died. Do you know what I'm talking about?
No, and that's messed up. But I don't know if I would want to do something like that and just describing the way kids die and stuff. But I think I get what you're saying. But
so anyways, I'll show you that. I'll show you that later, or if I can find it, I'll tell you what that is. But all right, I guess you should go ahead and tell them the plot. A quick rundown. Spoiler alert.
Okay, this is gonna be a sort of spoiler alert for Curse of Chucky and Cult of Chucky. At the end of Curse of Chucky, this woman has a Chucky doll put into her life, and it kills everyone around her except for her. She escapes. The cops don't believe her when she tells her story about the killer doll, so she's put in a mental institution for the criminally insane. There she is given probably excessive amounts of electroconvulsive therapy, shock therapy also, is what it's called. And she's declared schizophrenic, and after so much counseling and being told that the way she believed the events of the murders, how the murders played out, she finally convinces herself, and the others convince her, that she was the killer the whole time. So this movie picks up where she's in a mental institution. I can't remember the name of it, but it's more for civilians and less for criminally insane people. So yeah, she's put there. She most of the patients don't like her because of her. Well, no, some of the patients like her, and others don't because of her killer doll history and the fact that she killed her own whole family allegedly and stuff. Yeah, so Like, there are a variety of people who like her and don't like her. One guy who apparently likes her is this guy named Malcolm in the movie, and they go from talking to having sex in a stairwell, and like
the very next scene after they meet.
It's a little ridiculous how fast that goes, and I'm going to tell you, I don't know if I've told you about this, Bunnie, but when I was a teenager, I was in, a psychiatric ward at a hospital, and as much as they were on top of us, there was no way we were going to run off and have sex or something. A lot of the shit that happens in this movie just feels so unbelievable, because it's like... Yeah, whatever. Okay, so they have sex, and they have this group therapy session, all the patients there and the doctor, and there's a lot of animosity in the room about the main character, who's named Nika, and, oh, by the way, she's in a wheelchair, I forgot to mention that. She's paralyzed from the waist down, so, but anyways... There's a lot of animosity in the room because of her presence, and she killed her own family, allegedly, and stuff. And so the doctor, he thinks he's gonna chill things out, but he doesn't. He whips out a good guy doll, which is what the Chucky doll is, and passes it around, and... No, that is not good for this group and stuff. What are you doing, Doc?
It's like immediately what I was thinking. I was like, what? Why would that be his first go-to thing to try to, like, help these people? That was weird.
It was weird, and, like, Nika is not happy with this, and neither is, the woman who is accusing her, of being a killer and hates her, I can't remember her name, but there is this one patient who's in there who sees this good guy doll, and immediately clings to it and says it's her baby. And that's not creepy at all.
Should we go ahead and tell them, like, what each of the patients is there for, or do you want to wait to tell them?
I can go ahead and do that. Okay, so...
Because it's pretty great.
Yeah. There's this one man there. In fact, he's the only male patient there. His name is Malcolm, and he's there for, he just has trouble, I guess, managing his dissociative identity disorder, also known as multiple personality disorder. And for some reason, which only makes sense in the movie, all his different personalities, their names start with the letter M, and they're based on famous people. So at one point, he's like, Mark Zuckerberg.
I know that.
And at one point, he's Michael Phelps, and it makes absolutely no sense. It's like this weird cross between imposter syndrome, which is a completely different thing, and dissociative identity disorder. It's just weird. There's this old woman who's there. Do you remember what she's there for?
Yeah, I actually have the wiki page up in case we need to, like, reference back to it. But no,
you should probably do this because it has the names on there, and I don't remember all their names.
Okay, there's Malcolm, the guy with the multiple personalities that all start with M. There's an older woman who's, like, the creepiest one, and she thinks that she's dead, and she makes everyone else think that she's, like, she just talks to everyone as if she's dead. And then there's the woman who, other than Nika, who seems like the most sane, is a woman named Claire, and she apparently burned her house down. And then there is Madeline, who is the only one who, like, took Chucky and was like, this is my baby. And apparently she smothered her infant to death. And yeah, I think that covers everyone in the patients. So
there's the old lady, there's Claire, was the woman's name Claire?
The one who burned her house down was Claire.
Yeah, Claire. There was Claire, there was Madeline, the old woman, and Malcolm, and Nika. The hospital doesn't have many patients, apparently.
No.
But yeah, anyways, wait, was the old woman named Angela? Am I remembering that right?
Yeah.
Okay, Angela. Okay, so, Nika has a freak out about the Chucky doll, and all the other patients kind of hate it. Malcolm is the only one who believes that Nika didn't kill her family and that Chucky did. And he's like, Occam's razor, the most sensible solution is the one that makes sense, or whatever. Or the most simple explanation is the one that makes sense. But anyways, you know, it's nighttime, and Chucky decides to get up and wander around the hospital. He goes up to the main desk, the security desk, goes to a drawer that just says sharps on it, pulls out a scalpel, and just that's what he's gonna kill Nika with. So it's just weird. I could complain about this movie, like all the inconsistencies or whatever. Anyways, Chucky goes to Nika's room, and we're shown a shot of her wheelchair, and one of the metal spokes is missing. And Chucky goes to investigate, and there's a pool of blood where Nika's arm is laying out, where she has cut her wrist with the wheelchair spoke. And Chucky is not letting her off that easy. We wake up. We find her there the next morning. She's wondering why she's still alive. She, pulls her arm sleeve, down, and she sees that her wound has been sewed up. I don't know where Chucky got sewing material or whatever.
I didn't even think about that.
Yeah, we look down at the puddle of blood, and it just says, I don't remember the exact thing it says, but it's like, you're not getting off that easy.
Yeah.
And so, Carlos, the attending, comes in, and he goes to give her some water, and she's like, oh, I don't want them seeing my blood, so she throws her pillow down there, and she's like, I'll take care of myself, blah, 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 blah. We come to find out, a little bit later, that Angela has been murdered. Her wrist has been slit, and in her hand is that metal wire that, Nika had, and in the pool of blood she has on her floor, it says Chucky did it, or something.
Yeah.
And everyone's immediately suspicious that Nika killed Angela. Before we go on, I want to share an exchange. Before Chucky goes to Nika's room, he comes across Angela, and she does her whole, oh, I'm dead. Did you know that? You're not really here. I'm crazy. And he's just not having it, and he's like, after I kill Nika, I'm gonna come back and kill you. And so, yeah, so Chucky killed her. And after that, everybody's freaked out at therapy, group therapy. Malcolm still believes in Nika. Claire is still suspicious of her. And at this point, Nika has a visitor. And this blonde woman comes through the door and says that she was her niece's guardian, because in Curse of Chucky, not only did Nika survive, but her niece did. And so this blonde woman claiming to be her guardian shows up and gives Nika the Chucky doll, and Nika's like, oh, what happened to my niece? And the blonde woman's just like, oh, it's so sad what happened to her. Oh, she died, or whatever. And totally fake, totally bullshit, but yeah. Tiffany has brought, her name is Tiffany Valentine, by the way. We find that out later. Anyways, Tiffany has brought a second Chucky doll to this hospital. And, that's weird. The fact that there are two now and whatever. So the doctor, for some reason, the doctor brings this one to the second, group therapy visit. And, Nika is, convinced that one of them is Chucky, and so the doctor goes to prove it by burning one of the doll's hands with a lighter, and I don't know, it's this weird thing. Anyways,
yeah, because they're trying to, she's trying to like see if he's alive.
Yeah, and also she's starting to believe that Chucky is the one who killed her family, not her. She's starting to believe in her own story again, which is good.
Yeah.
But yeah. Anyways, Malcolm's still the only one who believes her. Yeah. So
let me know if you ever need. Let me know if you need any help remembering anything.
I think what happens next is like Nika is trying to get the Chucky doll away from Madeline, and Madeline's like, "I'm gonna go outside and take my baby for a walk," and she does. And Nika is not allowed to follow her because everyone's like suspicious that she's harassing Madeline. So Nika's like, "Malcolm, can you go out there and check out what's going on with her?" And he's like, who's Malcolm? I'm Mark Zuckerberg, blah, 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 blah. Anyways, yeah, he convinces her to go outside. Angela's grave has yet to be covered, by the way. Like, they buried her outside. Yeah, Madeline and Chucky walk over to the grave. Malcolm follows her, and Madeline throws the Chucky doll into the grave and then pushes Malcolm into the grave, and this weird thing happens, and suddenly, like, the Chucky doll starts to rise from the grave, and Madeline picks her up and takes her back in, and I don't know, it's like, there's a lot going on, and with the two Chucky dolls, and
this movie honestly was like so confusing to me.
It was. It's not as clear to keep in my head for sure.
Well, there's just like a lot going on in it. And I
was gonna say I haven't even mentioned the scenes with like Andy in his cabin.
Oh my god, like, yeah, we totally forgot about that.
Yeah, Andy the kid. Go ahead.
Oh, I was just gonna say like. I have it up here so I can kind of like help.
Go ahead.
Okay, so at the very, very beginning of the movie, you see adult Andy going on a date with a girl who like finds out who he is.
Oh yeah, because she's like, I can't believe you believe in gun control, and he's like, yeah. I need to defend myself, and apparently, yeah, he really does need to defend himself.
Yeah. So that's like the first scene, and then you see him go back to his house, and he has this like the head of Chucky that he like keeps locked away, but it's like all deformed and like held up by a chain and all this weird stuff. Like half of his face is melted off, but he's still living, and he like just tortures the head and just keeps it there because it doesn't die.
Yeah.
So that's like the very first thing, and then it goes with the whole thing with the patients.
Yeah, see, when I saw that Andy scene at first, I wasn't sure if it was taking place, like, what period in, like, time it was taking place compared to, like, the events in the, like, asylum or hospital, because, like, as far as we know, there's only one Chucky doll, and, yeah, it's just trying to put together how Chucky got from being a regular doll to being, like, kept in Andy's torture cabin is just a little confusing.
Andy's torture cabin!
Yeah, well, why didn't that woman want to go back to, sleep with him or whatever after the date,
Like, he wasn't even being, like, charming at all. He was like the first thing they do is get into like a controversial debate about gun control, and he's like just being very defensive and like just not like, I don't know, he just seemed he wasn't being nice and charming at all to this girl he just met on a date, and he's like, but then he's like, but I like you. I don't know, he's just being kind of rude, and I'm like, yeah.
I think one of the reasons he's being rude, and this is not to excuse his actions, but he's like, you looked me up, didn't you? You know what my life's about. And honestly, if I was that sort of figure in, like, the public space where, like, someone could just Google me and find out that I was involved in, like, this grisly string of murders that I didn't commit, I don't know, I would be a little off-putting, maybe, too. I don't know.
I mean, yeah, I get it, because, like, you get frustrated, like, oh god, here we go again.
Like, it's kind of like the whole thing of, like, one of the reasons, like, celebrities date other celebrities is they don't want to have to deal with people who don't have that experience of being in the limelight and stuff.
Right.
And that's kind of what Andy has going on, but in a more notorious sense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I get that.
But, yeah, like, Chucky's doing all sorts of shit at the hospital, and, I don't remember why, but, Claire goes to throw away one of the Chucky dolls, the one that had its hand melted, and when she goes to drop it down the fire chute, it bites her, she drops it, and the doctor is right behind her, and he's like, Claire, you bit yourself. We've got to restrain you. You're a harm to yourself. So they with this gurney, with this skylight in it for some reason. With this skylight in the locked room, and he leaves her there with the Chucky doll, and, like, they give her some sort of injection that's a paralytic or something, and the doctor says this gross shit about, oh, this is an interesting case about mass hysteria and stuff. I'll have to write about it. And anyways, the doctor and the nurse leave. It's just Claire, who's paralyzed, and Chucky. He grabs this canister of, like, concentrated oxygen, or compressed oxygen, breaks it, rockets through the ceiling, through the skylight in the ceiling, and all the glass falls, and there's a huge chunk of glass that just decapitates her clean.
Like, I don't know if we're discussing, like, stuff yet, but that was, like, the big thing to me was, like, it's gonna be shattering in, like, little shards. How in the world does she get just totally a perfect clean decapitation? Like, that just...
I mean, yeah, there are big chunks of glass sometimes when glass breaks like that, but I couldn't see it decapitating her head clean off. Like, it could impale her and get stuck. Sure. It's just weird.
That was just, like, it was just kind of a cheesy death. Like, it just was kind of out, like, not very realistic, but I mean, are we really discussing realistic things with this movie?
Yeah, I know, right? Well, yeah, anyways, what happens next? Oh, the doctor believes that Nika snuck in and killed Claire somehow. Like,
I don't even know how you're following along with, like, I'm trying to follow along with everything that you're saying, and I watched this movie, and I knew what happened, and I'm, like, looking at the Wikipedia note, and I'm still, like, confused about just, like, how all over the place things are in this movie.
Yeah.
How are you? You were just so good at keeping track of everything.
Even, like, I'm confused myself right now. I'm just barely grabbing onto pieces, like, trying to remember stuff. But, yeah, like, from what I remember after that, the doctor, like, has a private session with Nika that's really creepy. And he's, oh gosh, he's like, why don't we try hypnotherapy? And as soon as he says that, I know something's off.
Yeah.
He gives her this injection of some sort of, like, psychotropic chemical or whatever.
Oh my god, there we go again with these words I don't know.
Psychotropic.
These vocabulary words.
Okay. So, he injects her with some sort of drug, puts her in front of a strobe light, and I swear, if she was prone to epilepsy, she would be seizing by now.
Oh, yeah.
He's talking to her and talking about how, you know, like, like, giving her these hypnotic suggestions, like, The murder is all your fault, isn't it, Nika? What are we gonna do about this? And does he start kissing her or anything in this scene, or is that oh, yeah, he does, because, like, while she's hypnotized, he goes to kiss her, and Chucky hits him in the back of the head with some glass, like, with a glass bottle or something. He gets knocked out, and then suddenly Chucky's with Nika while she's hypnotized, and he's like, you know you should kill her, right? That's a bad Chucky impression, but yeah.
That's not better than I could do.
I could probably do his laugh if I tried, or something like it.
I feel like I need to smoke a lot more cigarettes to accurately do his voice right.
Yeah, you need... Also, he's like...
Chocolate! Chocolate! Sweet chocolate!
He's a much older man, so he sort of has that old man gravelly voice. So not only would you need to smoke a lot, but you would need to have smoked a lot for a long period of time in your life.
Your voice is so delicate and, like, cute and soft. That's why I'm, like, impressed how well you did that.
Yeah, I don't know. It's weird. I can do a lot of terrible things with my voice, to be honest.
That's a good skill to have. You could just get into voice acting already.
Yeah, that's sure. It's easier said than done, but okay. You gotta learn to act first before you can voice act. Anyways, yeah, Chucky's trying to get Nika to kill, the doctor, and she doesn't. And we cut to her, and she's on the floor or something in, like, a hallway? I don't remember, and I don't even remember what happens after this. I think what we see is Andy sees on the news that there's a killing in the hospital, and he sees the note Chucky did it, and, like, he decides to go see what's happening at the hospital, because his life is just so revolved around Chucky due to his, like, past experience that he has to investigate. So he takes this doll, this good guy doll that he has, that he's cut all the hair off of. Well, he's cut most of the hair off.
Do we know why his hair is cut off? Because I didn't catch that.
I believe the only reason it's done is so he recognizes the doll later, and also it's just easier for the audience to, like, notice that doll is a different doll from the other dolls later on.
Morgan,
but
real quick,
yeah?
you're kind of going scene by scene again.
I'm sorry. Anyways, I'm sorry. I'm trying to do this fast, but this movie's so confusing. Anyways, after that, there's some more bullshit with the Chucky dolls. We find out that both the Chuckies at the hospital are alive, that hasn't been established before in the movies. Anyways, there's some more bullshit. Madeline...
That's all you need to know. It's like, some bullshit happens, and there's some stuff with Chucky, and then Nika does some stuff, and then there's this person died, and then there's more bullshit.
Madeline has a breakthrough with her psychiatric condition. She smothers the Chucky doll with a pillow, and, like, she's confronted and has to admit she killed her own baby. And then they have, like, a little burial scene with the Chucky doll out by Angela's grave, which is a little disrespectful. What else? After that, the Chucky doll digs itself up from the grave, comes in, kills Madeline, and then everyone, like, the doctor has, like, another, private session with Nika. Also, Andy shows up to the gates of the hospital. He's like, I'd like to visit one of the patients. The security officer is like, visiting hours are over. And then Andy's like, well, I'd like to check myself in, have myself admitted. The guy's like, get lost. And then Andy punches him, and then they just put him in solitary confinement, as if that's how it works. Don't call the cops or anything. This hospital is sketchy as fuck.
Yeah, like, instead of, getting him, like, arrested or, like, and taken to an actual police station, they just put him in solitary confinement in the asylum. Like, yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah. Anyways, Nika has another, one thing we forgot to mention is when Malcolm climbs out of the grave, he's acting weird, and he's telling everyone to call him Charles, which is, Charles is the name of the, killer who went to go possess the doll. All his friends call him Chucky, though. That's where the name Chucky comes from. Malcolm, calling himself Charles, is acting weird and stuff.
I, just read about something that I was, confused about in the movie, and I just, I just realized. Anyways,
what was it?
You haven't reached it in your, synopsis yet, so I might wait.
Well, I'm picking up the pace, so we're going faster. Anyways, Nika has another private session with the doctor. She finds herself... Oh, wait, no. I think Chucky knocks her out, puts her in the doctor's office, and she's wearing a straitjacket, and the doctor is reprimanding her, has this creepy tone for why do I have to always fall for the crazy ones? He puts these shoes on her feet.
First he sucks her toe, then he puts the shoes on.
Oh yeah, he sucks on her toes, puts some shoes on her feet, says some creepy shit, and he gets knocked out by Chucky again. The first time Chucky knocked him out, he's like, oh, and I thought I was sick. But I'm nothing compared to this creepo doctor.
I'm just trying to figure out, okay, obviously this doctor, therapist, whatever guy, he's taking advantage of Nika, sexually, and that was just kind of a weird scene, because it's you would think if whatever his foot fetish thing was, she has a straitjacket on, so she can't really get out, keep her restrained, but, she has pants on, and he doesn't even take the pants off, or go to take the pants off, or he just puts the shoes on, and that's it.
Listen, the feet's all he needs, baby.
I guess so.
I don't know. He's a creep. I don't like anything he does. But anyways, the second time Chucky knocks him out, he's like, damn, I don't know if I should kill this guy or be taking notes from him. It's, him sort of addressing how creepy this guy is in the middle of a movie. Is that what you were talking about with fourth wall breaking?
Wait, say that again?
Is that one of the scenes you were talking about with fourth wall breaking, where Chucky's like, this guy's creepier than me?
No, that's not even one of the examples.
Oh, I think, was one of the examples when Tiffany was there and Nika said she looked like the actress that's playing her? That's
not even one of them, but that's probably one of them.
Oh, yeah.
Do you want me to tell you the one that I'm talking about?
Yeah, sure.
Okay.
It's on my mind.
Okay, real quick, you guys. One of the really interesting, funny things about this movie that, stood out to me was there's, several, fourth wall references, or they talk about something outside of the movie. And I have to see... I can't really remember what it was they were talking... I'm sorry if I'm, flipping paper around.
It's okay. It's part of the experience.
Yeah. Okay. This was in the scene. Know what? I don't remember what the context of it was, but he makes a reference to someone says something about Hannibal Lecter, and Chucky goes, "Oh yeah. I hate that they canceled that show." And I'm like, "What?"
Yeah, that was later on. Yeah, I remember that. He's like, can't believe they canceled that show.
Yeah, and I was like, and there was a time before that. I'd have to look through my notes. But yeah, so that was something interesting about this movie. I don't know if they'd done it in the previous one. I don't think so. That was just an interesting take.
I think they decided to just go a little more goofy in this one compared to the last one.
Yeah.
Anyways, to finish the wrap up, Nika, the doctor's knocked out. Two of the Chucky dolls are there. The third one, that has the shortcut hair has arrived, and Chucky takes it out, and he's like, I learned this trick, from Voodoo for Dummies, because the source of his power is voodoo or whatever. That's the backstory. And he does this chant, and suddenly the Chucky doll with the short hair is alive. And they're, deciding to split up and take out everyone else in the hospital. The main Chucky doll, again, tries to get Nika to kill the doctor one more time. She doesn't want to. So instead, he puts his hand on her face and puts his soul in her body. So now he has a human host along with his doll hosts.
Hey, just so you guys know, there's like 3 Chucky dolls, and they're all the same person, which I was trying to figure out while watching the movie. I was like, is this all the serial killer, and he just split his soul like Voldemort Horcrux style? Because
I was thinking about that. Like, how many times can he like put his soul in different vessels?
Yeah, yeah. That was just great. I don't know. That was so confusing.
There is a 4th Chucky doll, if you count the beheaded one that's in Andy's torture cabin.
Yeah, 4. And then he's also putting himself in people's bodies, and man.
Oh yeah, we find out later that he put himself in the body of the kid that Tiffany adopted. And oh yeah, because when Chucky's talking to Nika, he's like, it was fun being a little girl for a while, but I couldn't defend myself when the cops came. It's weird.
Did you already tell them about when Chucky put his or Charles put his soul in Nika?
Yeah, well, that's what I was about to do.
Okay.
Yeah. Chucky goes to put his soul in Nika. For some reason, that cures her paralysis, and she gets up, and in her nice red shoes, she stomps in the face of the doctor.
That was great.
And she's got this smug look on her face, and you can tell she's Chucky, for real. The short-haired doll goes out to find Andy. He finds him in the solitary confinement room, breaks in, goes to kill him, but Andy, he knows what he's doing. He wrestles the Chucky doll to the ground, shoves his hand in its guts, pulls out a gun. Andy smuggled a gun into the short-haired Chucky doll and blasts the doll in the face a lot, and it's still alive.
That's
so
what
then
I was.
Stomps its head in.
That was the part I was confused about earlier. I was like, why is there a gun in him? And oh god, I'm about to sneeze, but I'm gonna try to finish my thought first. Yeah, he says he learned about the murders online. Blah blah blah. He hatches a plan to end the carnage by sending a good guy with a gun inside, cutting his hair so he can tell the difference. Okay, so I was like, okay, cool.
Yeah.
It's so crazy. Whenever he was shooting the doll, like, it actually had, like, guts and intestines and blood and stuff in it. That was nice.
Yeah, that's one of the things, like, in the backstory of Chucky, like, the longer the doll, is host to a spirit, the more human it becomes. So yeah, it starts to get all bloody and organy and stuff. But yeah, anyways, Andy fends off the attack from the short-haired Chucky doll, and then another Chucky doll shows up, or it's either Nika, who's possessed by Chucky, shows up and closes him back in the asylum door and just leaves him there to die.
Right.
And after that, pretty much everyone's dead. All the good guy dolls that are left sort of just assume their natural, like, doll state, so nobody suspects anything. And I think the blame ends up being put on Andy for the murders, or that's what we're led to assume. Chucky Nika runs into Malcolm, and Malcolm is like, my name's Charles. And Nika Chucky is like, what the fuck are you talking about? You're not Charles, you're nobody. And Malcolm has this whole breakdown about, I don't know who I am. I just want to be someone.
His like whole personality disorder thing is him trying to like he wants to be someone important, so he's trying to like find his way, which is like, aw. He's just trying to like be someone, and he just wants to be noticed, senpai.
He wants to be senpai, yeah. Anyways, Nika kills him. I don't even remember how. It doesn't matter. Tiffany, Chucky's girlfriend, shows up at the front gate, kills the security guard with a knife, and then Nika walks out, and like she and Tiffany reunite, and they have like a kiss, and I think Nika Chucky makes a comment about the security guard being stabbed, and Tiffany says something like, you can't ever beat a classic. Remember, you told me that after you stabbed someone 37 times? And they drive off in the distance and talk about, this is a lot different than what I'm used to, and Tiffany's like, it's fine with me, in regards to her lover having a grown woman's body. Tiffany makes like a comment saying that she misses having the niece Alice around, but Chucky's like, fuck her. And then like Tiffany's like, oh yeah. And then like before the end we see a doll pop out of the back, and it's Tiffany Valentine in her former doll form. And I guess she's spreading her soul around too, is what we're led to believe. So she's not only possessing the soul of her own body, but she has like this doll body that she's inhabiting too. So
everyone's soul is just like split all over the place between dolls and people.
It's ridiculous, yeah. And I don't know if you watched through the credits, but there's this scene at the end. Did you watch that?
I was like trying to skip through it because I saw there was a post-credit scene, but I couldn't find it, like watching Netflix. But maybe
yeah, Netflix is bad about that.
Okay, so no, I didn't see it.
Anyways, the scene at the end is it's back at the torture cabin. Chucky's still like his head is still held in place on the table. This woman shows up, she kicks the door in or something. She's this blonde woman. She's wearing all black and she has a beret on. And Chucky's like, Kyle. And she's like, yeah, Andy told me where I could find you. And then Chucky's like, no. And I guess like we're left to believe that Kyle is continuing torturing Chucky. For those who don't remember, Kyle is the name of the teen girl from Child's Play Part 2. So, yeah.
Awesome.
And that's the movie.
That's a rep.
So, what... Did you have any notes?
Again. Every scene.
I didn't do the whole movie. Listen, I left out a lot. A lot of bullshit. Like, I didn't even go into Carlos's husband having multiple sclerosis, or him leaving her juicy fruit, or the cigarette exchange. I left out a lot, trust me. This movie is bullshit. I did not like it.
Yeah, so I guess we can go ahead and, like, go into our, like, personal thoughts and, like, anything that stood out. Yeah. Overall, I thought it was okay. I didn't think it was, like, great. It was just really confusing, especially since it had been so long since I've seen Curse of Chucky and just any of the Child's Play movies, so I didn't remember, like, the lore or what happened in previous events, so and it was just very all over the place with like this different Chuckies and yeah.
Were there any scenes that you enjoyed that you wanted to like say, "Hey, I really liked this" or anything?
I mean, I really liked the scene where she like stomped on the therapist guy's head with her shoes.
That was okay. Yeah, that was pretty cool because he was like such a shitty guy and stuff. But yeah, so when I talked to you last night, you said not to talk about the movie at all because you wanted us to have fresh thoughts we could discuss on the podcast. But I did get one text from you that was, you said, "Is it wrong that I think this doctor's hot?"
What about it?
When I was watching the movie, I was trying to figure out, is Bunnie gonna be into this guy kinda? Like, or is she gonna think this guy's hot? And I guess I was right. My instincts were right.
You just know me so well. He's just got that creepy thing.
He's got a good look to him.
Yeah, he has like a nice look. He's got an interesting look.
Yeah, I do not like him or anything he does in this movie.
Well, yeah.
But yeah, that's how I'm supposed to react. Did you have any like other thoughts or anything that you wanted to share?
I'm like looking over stuff I wrote down. Actually, like one of the first things I noticed was how perfectly like curled the doctor's hair is. Like, I don't know, he just had this like perfect like curl to his hair. It was like too perfect.
Yeah.
It looked like a wig almost.
It was very well maintained for a person who works in a psychiatric ward, which is a very stressful environment.
Oh, one thing that really stood out to me, like when you first see Nika getting transferred to the medium security prison, or like the hospital that the facility that the whole movie takes place in, you first see a outside shot of it, and it's like it looks like this like just concrete rundown looking prison building like out in the snow. It's just like covered in snow everywhere, and it just looks very like run down and just this concrete prison building. But then when you look at the inside of it, the whole movie, it's actually a very nice, modern, very like nice like building, and it's like got TV, like nice flat screen TVs, and everything just looks brand new. And I was like, that doesn't make sense.
The interior design, yeah, it's a lot more sleek than the outside leads it to believe.
Yeah.
I mean, leads you to believe.
So, I don't know, I just thought that was kind of weird. Of course.
Anyways.
Oh, I just thought of another, fourth wall reference. Okay, this was like, oh my god, this is amazing. When the doctor first brings the Chucky doll into the room with all the people seated around, and he wants to try to use it to like help them or whatever, they're like, "Where did you get that from?" And he's like, "I got it from Hot Topic."
Oh my gosh, yeah, he just fucking bought a Chucky doll at Hot Topic.
Like,
oh my gosh,
of course he got it from Hot Topic. Nice.
Yeah, I completely forgot about that. Just, I got this doll at Hot Topic because, they sell vintage toys and shit.
I don't even, they must have sold that, like, around Halloween time. Huh.
I could see them potentially doing that. I'm not sure. I felt like the popularity of Chucky died out a little bit.
Yeah.
That they wouldn't necessarily carry a Chucky doll, but they would carry like shirts with his like face or whatever.
I could see that. I don't see them at least now doing like a full size doll. I don't think it's quite relevant and trending enough But I could see like a shirt. Yeah.
Yeah. But they may have done one once. Who knows? Anyways, yeah. This movie was goofy. Yeah.
Another thing was when you see the puddles of blood underneath the people, when she slits her wrists and all that, and Chucky writes his name in the blood. It's like so perfectly outlined. Like it's just so. I mean, it's a movie, and I realize that, but yeah, it was just like a perfect like font outline in the blood. Like it looked like
really
a font.
Was. Yeah.
It's like, wow. He's got some good handwriting, like finger painting skills there.
He's been alive a long time. Give him some credit.
All right. I'll give him some credit.
Okay. A few thoughts I had about this movie. I really don't like Hollywood psychology bullshit. And this movie had a lot of it. With like, like a failure to understand how people are impacted by mental illness, and like they sort of make it more like glamorous or dramatic for like movies, and there's a lot of that going on. And honestly, I'm kind of not a fan of horror movies that like mainly take place in hospitals, because like hospitals are already sort of scary places for people to begin with, because health is a serious thing, and adding this whole like murder aspect to it, just I don't know. I don't like hospital horror movies and like Hollywood portrayals of mental illness that are very
like like you said,
and awful.
Yeah, like really dramatized, and especially because like you said, you were in like a facility at one point, and I totally get that.
Oh, yeah. So, them having sex in the stairwell, that sounded like a bunch of bullshit. Malcolm just being able to walk outside the facility without someone unlocking the door, that is some bullshit. Yeah, like, another thing I felt was bullshit was the fact that it was, like, a co-ed, facility, like...
I didn't think about that, but that, yeah. I could see where...
Yeah.
That wouldn't really... They would... realistically, they would want to keep it... the
men and women separate.
Right.
The only time that I've seen where they don't do that is with kids and teenagers. But once you hit an adult, and you're like, once you're considered an adult, they put you in the separate like facilities, and yeah. So yeah. Anyways, that's just some nitpicky things I didn't like about the movie,
sure.
And yeah. But, one thing I really liked about this movie was the character of Tiffany Valentine. I love her so much. She is very cheesy.
I like her too.
She knows what kind of movie she in,
yeah.
and is just hamming it up, and I love it.
I agree with that. Yeah, I really like her.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, this is something like random, but did you see when Andy was going to look up the murders of Chucky or whatever, he like went on Perez Hilton's site.
Oh my gosh, yeah, that guy's still around?
I was thinking that. I was like, okay, this is a brand new movie that just came out this year, not too long ago. Are people really still using that as like a site to look up information and like gossip? Because I didn't even know that was still a thing either. So I was wondering your opinion about that. Or maybe they worked with him, and that's why he's like, shown in the movie or something like that.
I feel like it really dated the movie, although I will say that website's still around, that writer is still around probably, but when I saw that, I was thinking of like, oh, what other like internet sort of like gossip celebrities are we gonna see after this? Like, oh, that Michael Buckley guy is gonna show up and Sexy Phil and whoever else and all the other tabloid internet guys.
Gosh, yeah.
You know, just, yeah, like, oh, I didn't know if you knew this, but there's this murderer going around. What the fuck?
Like,
go ahead.
I don't know.
It just, that feels like a very dated reference that they made to put the news site on there. Maybe Mr. Hilton got some residuals off that or something, like, yeah. Yeah.
Oh yeah, there was a thing, I'm just, like, looking through what I wrote down, anything, like, to point out,
Okay.
I forget what the scene was exactly, but it was, like, later on in the movie. I mean, it was in, like, the third half, like, the 3/4 of the way through, and, the doctor was, like, talking to them, and Nika, or something, after, oh my god, I cannot remember. It was before Chucky killed Madeline, the woman who, like, killed her child, and she makes this, like, scowl, like, she makes this face that is just so great, and I wish I could show you guys what it looks like. It's like he's talking to her, and she's just making this, like, this face of just pure hatred, and it just really stood out to me. It was just, like, it looked like it could be painted or something. I was like, that just looks so, oof, so good. I don't know if you know what I'm talking about.
I don't recall immediately offhand, but that does remind me of, like, a little small scene with Madeline, her Chucky doll, and the second Chucky doll that shows up. It's just sitting on the couch, and she sits next to it with her doll in her hand, and she's talking about her baby, the doll in her hands, and she looks over. The exact same doll that she's claiming is her baby, is sitting next to her, and she looks over and just says, "What an ugly doll." And I don't know. It was, I guess it was funny.
Can we talk about how, like, sexually creepy that scene was, before he, like, rips her throat out when he, like, has her hand in his hand in her mouth?
Oh my gosh, yeah, go ahead.
I don't know, that was just, I was like, where is this going? I was getting nervous. And then I was like, okay, they were just gonna kill her. Okay, that's better. Because I was like, what is happening right now? Because she's just like... What?
I thought for a second when, like, she's ready to die, like, she's just letting Chucky kill her, she says, try to make it as painless as possible. He puts his arm down her throat, and for a second, I thought, like, that's how he was going to inhabit her body, was just by crawling into it.
Yeah, I could see that.
But no, he just reaches her hand in during this very sexually tense moment, rips out a piece of her throat, and then, like, when the nurses show up, the arm is just shoved back down Madeline's throat, while the Chucky doll is just sitting over in the corner without its arm.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, there is a reference to the third Child's Play movie. When Andy goes to, like, open a safe or something where he has Chucky's head locked away, it has this sweatshirt framed in it that's, like, Kent Military School for Boys or something.
Yeah.
And that's the school he goes to in the third movie.
Oh, that's really cool that you noticed that.
Yeah, that movie stands out to me a lot, the third one, because in that movie, Chucky... Like, they have, the boys have this fake military game where I guess they're playing, like, paintball, but with, like, guns that are designed to look real. And, like, Chucky replaces the fake, bullet cartridges with real bullets. So he makes these kids just shoot each other to death, thinking that they're playing a game.
That was in the third one?
Yeah.
Nice.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
A little bit of trivia. The actor who plays Chucky, the voice actor who plays Chucky, his name is Brad Dourif, and a lot of people might recognize him as the actor who plays Wormtongue from the Lord of the Ring movies.
Wormtongue? Wait.
Yeah, the one whispering secrets into the king's ear
to
conspire against Gondor.
Yes, I know who you're talking about.
Yeah, that's the actor who plays Chucky.
Oh, wait, are you serious? Oh, like his voice?
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, that's really cool.
And also, his daughter is the one playing Nika.
What? The actor's daughter?
Yeah. Yeah, is playing Nika.
Whoa, that's really cool. Okay, yeah. That's awesome. Now I want to watch Lord of the Rings again.
Oh my gosh, you couldn't pay me to watch that unless you paid me a lot.
What?
It's just a really long movie, and they're kind of boring, in my opinion.
Really? That surprises me. I love those movies, and I feel like I would get bored more easily than you would.
Let me tell you something, Bunnie. The only thing I really love about the Lord of the Rings movies is I fucking love Merry. I love Merry. Oh, he's such a cute little hobbit man.
Okay, I can see that. Yeah, you would like the hobbits. I know I would want to be a hobbit if I was in the Lord of the Rings movies. Like, anyways, what?
Also, the second thing is, in the extended edition for The Return of the King, they have this character who's named the Mouth of Sauron.
Yeah.
And he's just like this human... his look...
Wait, you've told me that before. I remember you talking about that.
Yeah, he's this sort of Black Knight, who's riding along a horse, and he's supposed to be the mouthpiece for Sauron, and instead of having a face, his head just has a giant mouth in front of it, and it's all bloody, and it looks like a Hellraiser Cenobite, and I really love it.
Yeah, that's what you're into. You're into that, huh?
Yeah. That and cute little hobbit men, I guess.
That's like the two faucets. It's like the two extremes of like your personality is... Oh,
listen,
man.
if there was like a more androgynous feminine hobbit in the movie, I would probably be into that hobbit more, but there isn't.
Oh yeah,
so.
You would. Yeah, that makes sense. Oh yeah. Well, that pretty much covers my the notes and thoughts on the movie. Was there anything else?
No, that's pretty much it for me. I mean, yeah, like, I didn't like a lot of the mental illness stuff in this movie, and the setting, whatever. I really liked the Curse of Chucky movie. I did not like this movie, but I don't know.
I need to go watch Curse of Chucky again so I can remember it. I vaguely remember watching it, and I don't think I really liked it very much. But I don't know how.
You didn't?
Yeah, I don't know.
I really loved Curse of Chucky, so I was expecting Cult of Chucky to be amazing. Oh, one thing that if this movie was less about mental illness and more about like a cult that was actually starting around the Chucky doll, I would have been more interested in it.
Okay, yeah. That would have been cool. Yeah. Like an actual cult.
Yeah, and like, I don't know. I think that would have been more interesting for me personally, but yeah.
I would agree with that. Okay, so one thing we're gonna start doing for each of our movie podcasts is at the end we're gonna give a rating out of 10. Just out of.
What would you give this movie, Bunnie?
I would give it like a 3.
Oh wow. That feels a lot more generous. I mean, a lot less generous. Like, I was going to be generous and say, like, a 4 out of 10. But now that you're saying a 3, I'm going to probably say a 2.
Oh,
I'm going to give this movie a 2.
You are harsh.
It is a movie. It is watchable. I did not enjoy it, but it is a watchable movie.
It's entertaining, like most horror movies. Even if they're terrible, they're still entertaining. So
this one, like, I was not entertained by this movie much at all, to be honest. Like, so yeah.
Hey, that's what we gotta be. We gotta be honest. That's what we're here for.
This is where you come to get your hard-hitting, integrity, honesty, journalism bullshit.
I'm gonna start, like, counting how many times you say the word bullshit, like, in a podcast. Like, you just said it a lot this time in particular.
Well, I did not like this movie, so yeah.
Yeah, hopefully the next one will be better. Did you like Trick or Treat, though? The first one.
Oh yeah, I enjoyed Trick or Treat. Do you want to go back and give Trick or Treat a rating? Oh, yeah. Like right now?
Yeah, we should probably do that.
What would you rate Trick or Treat?
Well, since I rated, you do your rating first, then I'll say mine.
Oh, okay. I would probably give Trick or Treat a 7 out of 10. It was pretty good. Like, it wasn't a perfect movie, but I enjoyed it.
Okay, I was gonna say either like a 6 or a 7. Yeah.
Okay.
I would say 6.5. No, we gotta, like, pick a number. So I would say, I don't know. Listen, I feel like I'm trying to be like critical here, because I'm trying to think about what I would give a 10. Like, what movies I would give like a 10 to. Like, The Shining is a 10, because that's my number one. That's my favorite horror movie. So if I'm comparing
I could see that
to, like, my favorite one, I would say like a 6, because I really like Trick or Treat, but it's definitely not like one of, like, the best ones I've seen. Like, but yeah.
Yeah, I would give Trick or Treat a 7. Like I said, it's fun to watch. I mean, it's kind of fun to watch. Like, I would give it a 7.
All right. Oh, that sounds good.
Okay.
Well, I guess,
right.
What are you doing
now? You want to go ahead and wrap things up?
Yeah. Oh, by the way, earlier I found out that thing I was talking about, and I want you to go look it up, like, right after this podcast. That like alphabet, a creepy alphabet thing. Okay, so it's called the Gashly Crumb Tinies, and it's a book published by Edward Gorey in 1963. So that just makes it even creepier that this thing was, like, done in, like, the 60s. And it tells the tale of 26 children, each a letter of the alphabet, and how each of them dies. And it's, like, their cute little, like, couplets, and there's, like, a artwork for each one.
Is it fictional?
Yeah, it's fictional.
Oh, okay. I feel a lot better. Like, if I were to read that, if I were to do an audiobook of that, I would feel a lot better than just reading about 26 kids who died. Because I guess the way I interpreted your pitch earlier was that it was just someone wrote about 26 kids dying.
No! Oh, no, I'm sorry. Ways. No, it's like a fictional thing that he wrote.
Okay. Yeah, I should look that up.
You should. Honestly, like, you could probably do that. Like, we could have, like, a little segment next time or something where you just, like, do it in, like, your creepy, like, whisper ASMR voice.
Oh, yeah. Dandy Daffodil rolled down the dilapidated hill and died. Or something like that.
Oh, I like that. I like the way that sounds.
Yeah. Okay.
But yeah, so,
right.
And anyone else who doesn't know, anyone else, like, make sure to go look this up because it's really cool and creepy. But yeah, so, anyways, I guess we'll go ahead and wrap this up. So that was, our coverage of the Cult of Chucky. So that's our opinions about the movie. I would say if you enjoy the Child's Play Chucky movies, like, yeah, definitely watch it. It's not amazing, but it's entertaining. It's like if you're scrolling on Netflix and you don't know what else to watch, like, that's kind of what I would say.
Watch Oculus instead, but if you've already seen Oculus, watch Cult of Chucky.
I haven't seen Oculus. Is that...
Maybe it's something we could watch in the future.
Yes! Ooh!
We'll
Foreshadowing. See. I don't know.
Okay.
So, I guess we'll go ahead and close this out by letting you guys know where you can find us. You can find me, Bunnie, at twitter.com/merbunnie. That's MERBUNNIE. I also have a Facebook. It's the same, facebook.com/merbunnie with an IE. Also have an Instagram, which you can find at Captain Bunnie, IE. I also do Twitch live streaming. I stream video game, just various variety video games, and that would be twitch.tv/Bunnie Live. Again, Bunnie with an IELIBE. And I also have a Patreon for my cosplay, which would be patreon.com/Captain Bunnie with an IE, obviously. And I think that about covers myself. And where can they find you, Morgana?
Oh, are you gonna start with Morgana?
Ooh, I should start calling
Halloween.
you Morgana. Ooh, I want to call you Morgana from now on.
You say that each time, but you never do.
I know.
Let's see if you'll stick with it.
Okay, it will.
Okay. All right. You can find me on Twitter at Personal Corpse. You can find my private Twitter where I post sad nudes, only for mutuals. Fuck off. Otherwise, you can find me lurking on reddit.com/skincareaddiction. I don't post, but I watch people talk shit about baking soda on skin. So yeah.
What?
I think that covers it. Yeah. Have you never been to reddit.com/r/skincareaddiction?
No, I've never even heard of that Reddit.
It's skincare addiction. It's all about, different ways to take care of your skin and the shitty thing people do to their skin, like washing their face with baking soda.
All right, so that maybe that could be like another thing we do in our episodes, is just put in like weird Reddits to go to. Like weird Reddit suggestions.
Also, reddit.com/r/skincareaddiction. Reddit.com. Let me tell you, before we go, I would recommend checking out the Ambien subreddit, because it's all full of people who post about shit they did while they're on Ambien, and it makes no gosh dang sense.
Okay, I'm totally checking that out, like, ASAP.
You should. I'll send you a link if you don't.
Please do.
Alright, well, I guess that's everything.
I guess that's it. Not sure what we're gonna be doing the next episode, but I don't think it'll be too long for now. Our goal is kind of to do, like, 2 a month, so, we'll just be sure to follow our Twitters, and we'll keep updated about when the next podcast is coming out and all that. So thank you all so much for listening, and we will see you guys next time.
Goodbye.
Bye.
The music for this podcast was provided by Hellstar Plus. You can find links to their social media and music by visiting hellstar.plus.